Hello everybody, Jose Rodriguez here. I'm going to continue to talk a little bit about a subject that's really confusing to a lot of people. A person wanted to print a 6x8 in Lightroom, and he actually does have 6x8 paper that he buys packaged. It's not something he has to trim himself, but he cannot figure out how to do it. Now, he's using a Canon Pro 100, which by default has A5. This is the international paper sizes, paper choice. It's not quite 6x8. It's slightly different size. In fact, it's a little bit longer and a little bit narrower. So, but in order to be able to get a 6x8, you need two things. You need to be able to set up a custom paper size, and you can do that in the Canon printer. But the problem is when you go to print it, if your image is already cropped to a 6x8 ratio, then all you have to do is create your minimal cell size, maximum cell size. You cannot print borderless. You cannot on this type of paper size because it's custom. So your best bet is to give it the maximum cell size or the minimum margin, and then you just print it. But if you insist on having a 6x8 that is borderless, then your only option is to print it on a letter size paper or A4 if you are in Europe. So here I have one example of a bunch of flowers, early spring flowers, and it's on letter size paper, and I created a 6x8 cell within the letter size paper size. But my image is not the correct ratio. It is a 2:3 ratio, so it does not fit. So this width is not 6. This height is indeed 8 inches because this cell size is 8:6. But remember, my image being a 2:3 ratio ends up being with a narrower width, something like 5.5 inches. So the only thing you could do in this case is to use zoom to fill, and this will actually zoom the image, fill that 6x8 perfectly. You can then shift your image around. Remember, you have to crop. Simple. You just have to crop. No way around that, because no current DSLR today has a 6x8 ratio sensor. So at this point, I have a perfect 6x8. All I have to do is trim it. Yes, I have created some waste paper, but that is your only option. Even if I had that 6x8 paper size, and I already did a test and created a 6x8 custom size, I still have to include borders. I cannot print it borderless. So there's no way around that. If the 6x8 was an actual standard paper size, then yes, you could print borderless. But then again, you still be cropping your image because the driver has to expand your image beyond the edges. And the expansion percentage can be as high as 5%, more or less, depending on how accurate your printer can position that paper. All right, so that is why it has to extend the image beyond the edges to assure that you will not end up with some little slivers of white borders. That's it. There's no way around that, folks. If you are a purist and you want to keep the original size every single pixel, then you cannot print borderless because you will be expanding and throwing away about 5% all around the outer edges of your image format. That is it. All right, you may have heard that little noise. I am printing some more 13x19s on the Pro 1. I went ahead and installed all of the carts that were low or empty to full, and I'm in the process of refilling these and rechipping them. Over there I have the ones that are already refilled to full, and over there I have some extras that I can put together to create another complete set. Now I am down to, let's see, one set of PGI 29s. Like I said, I have boxes here and 3 boxes here that I have not extracted ink from. So you'll have to give me about a month. I have 2 shipments that I have to send out tomorrow. And after that, I got to put a halt to the ordering of these cards until I prepare some of these so that I can machine them and get them ready to ship out. All right, so that is it. When I come back, the next video, I'm going to show you what I printed. And I want to talk a little bit about what's been going on with the comments, okay? It's not so much aggravating, but just it's driving me nuts. And I just want to tell you guys what you really need to do to make your life a lot easier, because you will find whatever you're looking for a lot better than simply asking me to find it for you. I just don't have the time for that. All right, so sorry about that, but that's the fact. All right, so thank you so much. Don't forget to subscribe, share, and like. And I'll be back in a few seconds. Happy printing, everybody. Bye-bye.